Laker fans, how we doing? My name is Sammy Long. This is another Laker preview video, doing one for every single game this season, getting everybody ready for the upcoming matchup. Got a fun one tonight. Going to be at Crypto, at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder, number one team in the Western Conference right now, and the Lakers are going to get to see how they stack up because this team has been very up and down so far this season, with a lot of high highs, a lot of low lows. So this is going to be a fun one, and the Lakers, to their credit, do usually show out when it's a big game, big Friday night game. So we'll see, but we're going to get into them a little bit later. I'll talk about the NBA Cup because that is an NBA Cup game tonight. But first, we're going to talk about the Lakers ending the three-game skid. So Wednesday was a big win, in my opinion. That was a potential tipping point for the season. Obviously, you're coming up, a 6-game win streak, riding high, really good record in the West. Then, as well documented, the Magic hit a big shot, Wagner at the end of the game. Kind of feel like that one was just an anomaly. That's going to happen every once in a while in the NBA. A team's going to come back. The Lakers just made free throws. They would have won that game. Then Denver rolls into town. And, you're feeling like, okay, Lakers going to get back on track, beat Denver. Obviously, had that horrible third quarter. And then, Phoenix, you roll into Phoenix. And it's like, all right, well, let's not see that again. And literally the same thing happened. And we all know it was a horrible game. Lakers just got absolutely manhandled by the Nuggets and Suns and didn't put up much of a fight in the second half. It was a pretty pathetic performance. But then Wednesday on the back-to-back, and, people kind of sold all their stock on the Lakers on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, to beat a really good Spurs team, That Spurs team, the Lakers barely hung on the first time. They got it big, and then they almost came all the way back. This is a really good team. I know they're up and down. They lose some bad teams, beat some good teams. That team was on a win streak coming into that game. And, Wemby and Stephon Castle's becoming an absolute star. I really like watching him play. And, Chris Paul, obviously, at age 39, still doing his thing. They got a lot of young talent on that team. And knowing that was going to be a tough game, in San Antonio, coming off a big-time loss, needing a win, knowing that this game is tonight, knowing that Oklahoma City, is favored by 3.5 in LA tonight. So, and they don't even have homegrown and guys like that. So that's what Vegas tells you about Oklahoma City. So that was a big game. That was a big game to stop the streak. And I like the way they won. They really buckled down defensively. Won 119-101, almost held them under 100. The broadcast was pulling for them to hold them to 99. That would have been exciting, especially after the last couple games where the Lakers got destroyed in the third quarter with a minus 40 point differential. After the game, there were some good quotes, I thought, from Reddick. He said, "I'm very proud of our group. The response was great." And it's funny because it's literally what I talked with them about before the game, just that you got to let go of the past, you got to let go of the recent past, and you got to get on to the next thing. And they've done that already on several occasions. They've responded. The Lakers, that's very true. The Lakers have, got out to a big 3-game winning streak, start the year, then went through a little bit of a losing streak, 1-4 on that road trip, then start the 6-game winning streak, then go on a 3-game losing streak. So hopefully that was the first win of a winning streak coming up here. And the Lakers do respond, and I think that's what's so frustrating when you see the performances against the Nuggets and the Suns is you see the potential with this team. This is a very talented team, and at times feels like a team that could go really far and do a lot of damage in the West and go to the championship. But then, you see nights against the Nuggets and the Suns, and it's like, well, that team's not going to the championship. That if they play like that, that was pretty embarrassing. But that's why I think it's so frustrating because there's a lot of talent on this team, and there definitely is a lot of excitement. Obviously, with Dalton Connect, he just keeps blossoming. He had a huge night, 20 points on the night, and 8 rebounds. I mean, he's just excellent move by JJ Redick inserting him back in the starting lineup. You can tell LeBron and AD love playing with him. AD said after the game, on Connect starting spacing. He's a shooter. He can get the basketball and was able to get some open shots. We were setting back screens, and when you shoot the ball as well as he does, 2 people tend to go to him, and we open at the rim. Or if their guy helps on me, then we get another guy who's open in the corner or the wing. So he brings a different dynamic to us, whether that's in the starting unit or the second unit. But specifically with that starting unit, he creates that spacing for us, and when we swing it to him, we know he's going to knock down the shot. That's crucial. I mean, that's what Klay Thompson did for the Warriors for years. It was the Steph show, and other guys, would step up. Wiggins and Draymond would have, some scoring outbursts, things like that. But Klay would just sit in the corner, and guys would forget about him. They'd be so worried about Curry going off or Durant, obviously, when he was there. And then you forget that, one of the great shooters of all time is just sitting there in the corner, and he would end games all the time. And I'm not saying Dalton Connect's there yet because he's not. So I want to, before everyone goes at me in the comments, but Dalton Connect kind of has those tendencies, and it's exciting watching him play. And, LeBron playing with shooters. It's a big deal. You got a slasher and Reeves. LeBron can do whatever he wants, get to the rim, AD going off. And, having Connect standing out there is just a big deal. I love the confidence he has. He really is not scared to shoot it, and that's what you got to have from a shooter. So really good performance, like what I saw from him. Rui really had a better performance, kind of got lost in that a little bit. 16 points, 5 rebounds. Got to give D'Lo some credit. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 7 of 11 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3. And Max Christie, really impressed with him. 12 points on 4 rebounds, 4 of 6 shooting. So, the supporting cast came to play, and that was really important. Connect was unreal. D'Lo, every time everyone sells their stock on D'Lo has a big game. I swear, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've always been a D'Lo guy, so I'm happy that he played well. Max Christie, really loved what I saw from him. Hopefully he gets more minutes. I mean, it was interesting. Gabe Vincent played 6 minutes, so kudos to JJ Redick a little bit in the sense of, if he's not going to play well, he's not going to shoot the ball, don't play him. Not just because of his contract, but then at the same time, it's like he can't make that much money just sit on the bench and not contribute. But they got to figure something out with him because that's been a major disappointment this year. And, D'Lo's been up and down and guys like that. But Vincent's really never had a breakout game. He's never really had a game so far this season that you're like, wow, he had a big game. So I like that Max Christie's kind of earned his way back in the rotation. He adds a lot. I think he adds a lot defensively as well. So anyway, good performance from them. Really excited about that. And Lakers got a big one tonight. Looking at the NBA Cup outlook. This is tough. You guys can respond in the comments. Do you guys care about the NBA Cup? Is this like something that the Lakers got won it last year obviously, and then got kind of clowned for it. They put the banner up. The Lakers are the business of hanging NBA championships, not NBA Cups. Like, it's great. It's awesome. It feels like that maybe should have gone somewhere else, not in the rafters. But they need a lot of help to win this NBA Cup because of what got lost in that Suns game is that I think people just didn't care because they just wanted, the fact that they were losing was like, this is despicable. But the fact that they, kind of packed it in and lost by so much, point differential matters in the NBA Cup. So that was a big deal. Losing to the Suns by, hell, if they could have got it to losing by 12 would have been a big deal. The fact that they got absolutely blown out, not good for them. The simplest and most realistic way for the Lakers to advance is to beat Oklahoma City tonight, and the Spurs have to win on the road against Phoenix because obviously Phoenix is the tiebreaker because they beat the Lakers. There's another way that you get kind of crazy. Lakers can go 3-1 with a negative point differential and make it out of the group. They would effectively need the Clippers and Blazers to both lose to take them out of contention for the wild card spot. And then while also having Denver beat Golden State by about 20 points on top of the Lakers beating the Thunder by about 10 points. So that's very confusing. That's probably not happening. The Lakers beating the Thunder by over 10 points and Denver blowing out the Warriors by 20 and the Clippers and the Trailblazers losing. So that's not. I don't think people care as much about this. I know I don't as much. I just want the Lakers to win. I really just like let's get that record. Let's get back on track. The West is so tight. The West is really up for grabs. I mean, the standings are shifting every night. The Lakers are only 3 games back from Oklahoma City, who was the number 1 spot. The Lakers were the number 1 seed last week. So, I mean, it's so tight. So these wins, people point to, the critics of the NBA want to go, who cares about a November game or who cares about an early December game? No, it's a big deal, especially in how tight the West is. These tiebreakers are going to matter. And I think what's important about this game is we're seeing how the Lakers stack up because it felt like to open the year, you beat Minnesota opening night. Okay, Minnesota's going to be there towards the end. He beat a Sacramento team who's owned the Lakers the last few years. That's really encouraging. And then you beat a Phoenix team. It's like, wow, the Lakers are really beating good competition. Then Denver rolls back into town. You're thinking Denver's struggling, but then Denver still owns the Lakers mentally. And on the court, makes us sick. I hate Denver, but they do until the Lakers kind of prove that otherwise. And then, Phoenix won the last 2 matchups. So they kind of got boat raced in that game. I really think the Lakers can compete with all these teams. I think they just kind of got out of hand and they didn't play any defense. They literally didn't play any defense. They gave up 62 points in the first half, which is crazy to me. But Thunder are obviously going to be there. So we're going to see. The Lakers have fared well against this team. They really have. So getting to looking at Oklahoma City, they played well against this team. And, they got some obviously big injuries. Caruso is out. He won't be playing in this game. He should be back on Sunday. He actually has a hip injury. Chet Holmgren has a hip fracture. He's out until late January. He's been out a couple weeks, And So obviously Holmgren's one of their best players. He won't be playing. So AD really has no excuse not to dominate. He's going to be guarding Isaiah Hartenstein. He came over from the Knicks in a 3-year, $87 million contract. That was a nice pickup for them, I think, because it kind of, when Holmgren's there, it took some pressure off him because Holmgren's, very talented, but he's not some big physical big. And you can definitely get Holmgren in foul trouble because he can't compete defensively with some of these guys like the big kind of mauling Jokic's, AD, guys like that. Hartenstein's kind of that more traditional center who can do that for you. So that was a big pickup for them, especially with this injury. And but the Holmgren won't be there. So AD's got to dominate Hartenstein. This team starts and stops with SGA. I mean, he's unbelievable. If you were starting a NBA franchise and any player was available, he's names at the top of the list or one of the first few guys taken. He's unreal. He had, they're on a 3-game win streak. Their last game, they beat Golden State 105-101. SGA had 35 points. Isaiah Joe had 17. He's a really nice player. Jalen Williams, 13. Hartenstein, 14. Lou Dort is a defensive specialist. He's a very good player. He's kind of he's had some big games offensively against the Lakers, but he's kind of the Cam Reddish, kind of that guy of the Lakers, the Jared Vanderbilt. That he's out there to lock up defensively, not really worrying as much about defense. So Oklahoma State is a really good team. They're very deep as well. They're really young. So the Lakers got to come out and run. The Lakers have historically struggled against these kind of teams that are young and get out and run, and the Lakers seem to lose in the third quarter sometimes. The crowd's going to be rocking day after Thanksgiving. So that's going to be in the Lakers' favor. The Lakers do show up for these games. So, let's get a little win streak going. The Lakers got a big couple games next week. You got, Utah, I believe, and then Minnesota, Miami. So you got some big games coming up. Starts with this one. And I think the Lakers can really get on a winning streak, and they are the healthier team. So I think, maybe don't want to jinx it. Lock in that Lakers plus 3.5, Lakers money line. But, we'll see. So thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate the video. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and we'll be back for the preview for Sunday. So thank you guys. Alan, I think we'll get you guys on the post-game show, and appreciate it. Thank you guys.